Hey there guys, it's Dr. Steve here again. I had a quick workout, so I was going to take some time to teach you guys about some ankle and foot mobility today, things that might be able to help you out if you're having some problems getting into the bottom of your squat, or if you're having some foot pain or some calf tightness, things like that that are inhibiting you from doing the things that you want to do. So first thing we're going to talk about is just how do I know whether or not I have some ankle mobility issues. The easiest way to do that is to do a quick little test with yourself. Up against a wall, what you can do is start with your foot about a hand's width away from the wall and then drive your knee in towards the wall. If you can't touch the wall without your heel coming up, then most likely you're having some sort of ankle restriction that is preventing you from getting down to the bottom of this squat position or pistol position or anything like that. So that's a good retest thing that we can do, is just pick a side, see how much distance we can get away, whether it be about 3 fingers, 2 fingers, 1 finger, what have you. Do some of this mobility work, check it again at the end, and see whether or not the stuff that we're doing is actually helping at all. So the first thing I'm going to show you guys is some mobility stuff for your calf to work those tissues out from about here up to the knee. We can use a kettlebell, and my thanks go out to Dr. Missy Albrecht with the Invincible Athlete, who kind of showed me some of this stuff the other day. So you can thank her for all the pain and everything it's going to bring you, but it's very effective. So I'm going to show you guys how to use this to kind of loosen everything up. So what we're going to want to do is sort of divide our calf into about 4 different regions, and then use the handle of the kettlebell to sort of mobilize the tissues in that area, hopefully to just kind of loosen everything up. So I'm just going to show you one area, and you can kind of extrapolate that going all the way up. So what we want to do is put some pressure onto the kettlebell here like this. You can either just press down with your leg, or if you need more pressure than that, you can cross your other leg over the top of it. So what I like to do after that is to sort of roll from side to side, just kind of grinding in there on any spots. And if you find any in particular that are a little bit tight, what you can do is pin that particular spot down, and then we can just work the ankle range of motion in there. So I would work back and forth on that. You can work tilting in and out, and then kind of just going in circles, and then I would just work back and forth again, just grinding out any of those areas that are feeling a little bit tight. And then after about a minute or so, just move up to our next fourth. Same things, next fourth, same things, last time, same thing. Back and forth, pinching and rolling and all that. If you start to feel any numbness going down into your foot, that's an indication that you're probably sitting on some nerves. You should back the pressure off a little bit, or just stop altogether. So that's a good way to get the muscles and everything loose there. The next thing I'm going to show you is going to focus a little bit more on the joint. And that's going to require the use of a box and one of these bands here hooked up to a rig. So what I like to do is have the band be a little bit below the top part of the box, and then we're going to slip this around our ankle, whichever one it is that you want to work on, or both, to where when we put our foot up here on the box, that it's giving us a distraction force down and away from the joint. So then once we've got that, we're going to create some tension by creeping up on the box here. And if you pay attention just to this side, if I sit down like this, this looks very much like the bottom portion of my squat, or how I should sit in a pistol. So if we're having problems with the squat, with the pistol, best way to mobilize it is in the position of restriction. The box allows us to keep some balance, which people have a problem with getting so low. So this will teach you a little bit about that, but also helping give us a little bit more leverage than we can get just being on the ground to pull this joint into the area where we want it to. So once we've got some good distractive force in there, all we're going to do is just sit down into this and just try and rock back and forth, finding any of those areas that are feeling a little restricted. And what we can do too is just turn a little bit to the side, work those things a little bit one way, and then also turn away from it, work the other corners. Just find where the joint feels tight to you, pin it down, and grind into that using your body weight. If you need more, just grab onto the front of the box, pull yourself down into it, but I want to make sure that what's not happening is that this heel's coming up. The band should give us enough distracted force to where we're feeling it keep our heel down, and that should help give us good quality mobilization here. So after you do, you know, same sort of thing, a couple minutes of this in each direction, then you're good. You can switch over to the other side and then check back on your range of motion again, and it should kind of be improved. If it's not, then maybe you need to spend a little bit more time with each one of these things and just keep checking back with it. After you do mobility, of course, you want to do some sort of stability work. And a good thing to do for that is calf raises, negatives. So you can use the box again. Sometimes you're going to want something stable to hold up against, but what we're going to do is single leg on that side we're working on, dip down below where we start from, bring it up to about a count of 3, hold up here, count of 3, bring it back down, count of 3. And you should be able to do these without support. I would use it on something lower, like a step or something like that, so if you fall off, it's not such a big deal. But work your way up to 10 or 12 reps, and if you can do that, add some weight in a backpack or something like that. So that's a good way to sort of work the stability in that area. Another way to do it is to use the box again if you're not comfortable down in the bottom of that position. What I find is a lot of people have the mobility to get down here. What they don't have is the ability to kind of feel where their weight needs to shift. And that's where we can use this box to kind of get comfortable being down here in this position, keeping our chest up, and then using the box in a kind of progressive way to kind of keep our weight shifted over to the right side, eventually getting to the point where we can kind of be on this one side here like this, progressing into what is our pistol stance, and then all the way just working pistols from there. So that's a progression, and that takes a whole lot more time to teach and everything like that, but you may get the idea from this little video here. Again, if you ever have any questions about any of this stuff, please do contact me at the clinic. I'd be glad to answer any questions you have. Have a good day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.